What if artificial intelligence could do more than just, well, be AI? What if it could actually reshape how our communities create wealth and opportunity for everyone? Today, we're going to explore a new AI driven model that's aiming to do exactly that by totally transforming fundraising for the nonprofits that are, let's be honest, the lifeblood of our society.
Okay, if you've ever worked for a nonprofit or even a small local business, this question probably hits pretty close to home, right? The constant search for funding, the endless grant applications, planning those donor events, it's a total grind. But what if there was a smarter, more sustainable way to fuel the causes we all care about?
So, let's just start with a really hard truth about the current system. This number, it represents a massive, massive challenge. 70% of people who donate to a cause one time never give again. Just let that sink in. It's like having a huge leak in the donation bucket. It's a clear sign of donor fatigue and a system that's just failing to build lasting relationships. And here's where it gets even crazier. Of the money that does manage to come in, up to 40% of it can get eaten up by the costs of fundraising itself. I mean, imagine that. Almost half of a potential donation just vanishes into thin air before it can even be used for the mission. The model isn't just inefficient, it's fundamentally broken. So let's dig into these flaws a little deeper. Because to really get why a new approach is so desperately needed, we first have to understand the deep-seated problems in the current fundraising world. People call this the fundraising treadmill, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Nonprofits are basically trapped in this exhausting cycle of time-consuming grant applications, super expensive galas, and all of it is yielding smaller and smaller returns. It's a constant, inefficient struggle just to keep the lights on, let alone actually grow their impact. But here's the thing, this isn't just a problem for nonprofits. No way. It's really a symptom of a much larger crisis that's starting to affect every single one of us. The widening AI divide. The very same technology that could solve these problems is also creating a brand new form of inequality. So we really have to shift our perspective here. What used to be a chronic problem, inefficient fundraising, is now part of an acute, full-blown crisis. The technological forces that could fix these issues are also creating this massive gap between the AI haves and the have-nots. And this isn't some abstract future problem. There is a real human cost to this shift. In 2024 alone, over 141,000 tech workers were laid off. Why? Because roles in marketing, sales, and customer service are being replaced by AI automation. This is happening right now. And this chart, wow, it just leaves the disconnect out there, plain as day. Look at these numbers. You've got 72% of executives using AI every day, but only 18% of frontline workers are. And at the exact same time, 2/3 of all employees want AI training, but they're just not getting it. This is the skills and usage gap, and it's leaving millions of people behind. So we've got two massive problems that are all tangled up together: broken fundraising and this growing AI divide. So now for the good part. Let's look at a solution. This is an innovative model designed to tackle both of these problems at the same time by creating a mutually beneficial ecosystem. The whole idea boils down to a simple but really powerful concept: a win-win-win. It's a system where nonprofits, local businesses, and the entire community all benefit from being connected. This is not a zero-sum game, not at all. It's all about creating shared prosperity. Okay, here's the first win: the nonprofits. They get free access to a whole suite of powerful AI tools. Let's call them superpower apps. These tools help them slash their admin costs, automate their fundraising 24/7, and reach totally new donors, which frees them up to, focus on their actual mission. Now for the second win, the local businesses. They get access to the exact same powerful AI tools, which could potentially save them over 80% on digital marketing. And in exchange for supporting local causes, they generate new leads, they get more web traffic, and they build this incredible brand image as a company that really gives back. And all of this brings us to the third and maybe the most important win of all: the community itself. This model builds strong social connections and creates a local economic loop. That means resources, money, and opportunities just keep circulating right there in the community, driving sustainable growth for everybody. Okay, so that all sounds pretty great, right? But how does it actually work in practice? Let's get into the mechanics.
The engine that powers this entire ecosystem is something called the Smart Community Flywheel. Okay, so here's the flywheel in action. It's a four-step process that just keeps reinforcing itself. First, an AI bootcamp trains displaced workers and students. Second, those graduates launch AI-powered crowdfunding campaigns for local nonprofits. Third, value gets circulated locally using community tokens. You can think of them like digital rewards you can only spend at local businesses. And finally, the whole system grows through referrals, not expensive ads. See, each step just powers the next one. It's brilliant. And these are the real practical tools that make it all happen. It's a whole suite of AI superpower apps for both the nonprofits and the businesses. We're talking everything from AI-driven marketing and social media to automated chatbots and customer management. These are real-world tools designed for real-world impact. But you might be asking, how is all of this funded for the long haul? Well, the key is something called smart memberships. It's a concept most of us already get. Just think about the PBS model. Supporters can subscribe monthly or annually to get ongoing benefits, and that creates a steady, predictable stream of revenue that keeps the entire ecosystem humming. So this all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work? Let's ground all this in a real-world example and take a look at the huge potential for impact when this model is actually put into practice. This is where the rubber really meets the road. In Kansas City, a nonprofit called A STEAM Village is already using this model as their blueprint. They're training young people in AI-powered entrepreneurship and launching campaigns to fund STEM education. They're proving this whole ecosystem can work right now. And the goals here are anything but small. The aim is to create over 10,000 new income opportunities for graduates of these AI bootcamps all across the country. This is about turning displaced workers into the next generation of digital entrepreneurs. When you boil it all down, the ultimate goal is to evolve nonprofits from organizations that are passively waiting on grants into dynamic AI-powered agencies. They become these digital empowerment hubs that not only sustain themselves, but actively fuel the growth of their entire local economy. So, let's end with this question. What if every community could build its very own engine for prosperity? This is so much bigger than just better fundraising or closing the AI divide. It's about providing a blueprint for any community anywhere to build its own self-sustaining engine for innovation and inclusion. What would that future actually look like?